When entering a street from a driveway, you a. must drive slowly to allow approaching vehicles and pedestrians time to get out of your way. b. must honk your horn so approaching vehicles and pedestrians know to give you room. c. must stop and proceed only when there are no pedestrians or vehicles approaching. d. can disregard any pedestrians if there is no sidewalk. c. must stop and proceed only when there are no pedestrians or vehicles approaching. Always stop before entering the roadway from a driveway and yield to any approaching vehicles or crossing pedestrians. The stop should be made before crossing the sidewalk area. Failure to stop is unlawful. A red flashing traffic light has the same meaning as a solid red light, b. stop sign, c. yield sign, d. caution sign. b. stop sign. A red flashing traffic signal has the same meaning as a stop sign. When approaching a red flashing signal, come to a complete stop and proceed when it is safe to do so. A stop sign may sometimes also be posted where this signal is located. If a vehicle using high beams comes toward you, you should look toward fill in the blank of the road. A. either side, b. the center, c. the right side, d. the left side, c. the right side. If a vehicle approaching you is using its high beams and fails to dim them, you should glance toward the right side of the road. This will keep you from being blinded by the other vehicle's headlights and will allow you to see well enough to stay on your course until the vehicle passes. At an intersection with a traffic light displaying a green arrow, you should a. wait to proceed until the light turns green. b. stop, then turn in the direction indicated by the arrow. c. turn in the direction indicated by the arrow when the intersection is clear. d. accelerate and quickly turn. c. turn in the direction indicated by the arrow when the intersection is clear. If you are in the proper lane, you must make the movement indicated by an arrow displayed on a traffic signal. A movement indicated by an arrow has the right of way and should not conflict with pedestrians or other vehicles. However, still be alert to other drivers and pedestrians who are wrongfully within the intersection.
Want to ace your DMV test? Go to cheatsheets.com and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
If you drive past your desired destination while in heavy traffic on a city street, you should a. stop where you are, b. back up to where you should have stopped, c. signal and make a U-turn, d. drive around the block, d. drive around the block. If you realize you've passed your destination while driving in heavy traffic on a city street, you should circle around the block. Never make a U-turn where it may disrupt traffic. When approaching a school bus that is displaying flashing red lights, a driver should a. sound their horn and pass slowly, b. stop, make sure it is safe to pass the bus, then proceed, c. slow down and proceed with caution, d. stop and remain stopped until the flashing lights extinguish, d. stop and remain stopped until the flashing lights extinguish. Drivers must come to a complete stop when approaching a school bus that has its red lights flashing and stop arm extended. Drivers should never try to pass a school bus that is loading or unloading children. If a transit vehicle is signaling to re-enter the main roadway following a stop, you must a. honk to let them know you're there, b. move to the left lane, c. yield, D. Speed up to pass. C. Yield. You must yield to any transit vehicle that is signaling to pull back onto the main roadway after it has stopped to load or unload passengers. Change lanes, slow down, or stop to allow the bus safe re-entry into traffic. A single broken white line down the center of a two-lane road indicates A. Lanes are moving in opposite directions and drivers are not permitted to pass. B. Lanes are moving in opposite directions and drivers are permitted to pass when it is safe to do so. C. Lanes are moving in the same direction and drivers are not permitted to pass. D. Lanes are moving in the same direction and drivers are permitted to pass when it is safe to do so. D. Lanes are moving in the same direction and drivers are permitted to pass when it is safe to do so. White lines are used to separate traffic moving in the same direction. Dashed lines indicate that drivers directly next to the line are permitted to pass when it is safe to do so. A solid white line on the right edge of the highway slants in to the left. That shows that A. There is an intersection just ahead. B. You are approaching a construction area. C. You will be required to turn left just ahead. D. The road will get narrower. D. The road will get narrower. A solid line along the side of the road indicates where its edge is, marking the boundary between the travel lane and the shoulder. If the edge line angles toward the center of the road, this means that the road is narrower ahead. You are driving on a highway divided by two solid yellow lines. You may A. Cross these lines only to make a left turn into or from an alley, private road, or driveway. B. Cross these lines to pass other vehicles, but only if there is no oncoming traffic. C. Cross these lines under no circumstances. D. Cross these lines only to make a U-turn. A. Cross these lines only to make a left turn into or from an alley, private road, or driveway. Double solid yellow lines are used to mark roadways where passing is prohibited from both directions. You may cross these lines only to make a left turn into or from an alley, private road, or driveway. The required amount of liability insurance coverage for property damage is a minimum of A. $15,000. B. $5,000. C. $50,000. D. $25,000. D. $25,000. The mandatory insurance law requires either the vehicle owner or driver to carry liability insurance. The minimum required amount of liability insurance coverage is $25,000 for property damage. You must stop for a school bus. A. That is parked on the shoulder of the road with no one in it. B. When it approaches you, even if its lights are not flashing. C. If you are both driving on a two-lane highway and its red lights are flashing. D. Whenever the driver waves at you. C. If you are both driving on a two-lane highway and its red lights are flashing. You must stop when approaching a school bus that is displaying flashing red lights while stopped to pick up or drop off children. On a two-lane road, traffic moving in both directions must stop and remain stopped as long as the red lights near the top of the bus are flashing and/or the stop arm on the left side of the bus is extended. When the road is marked with a solid yellow line and a broken yellow line, with the broken line next to your lane, you may pass. A. Only in an emergency. B. If you are on an expressway. C. If traffic is clear. D. Only at an intersection. C. If traffic is clear. When there is a solid yellow line and a broken yellow line in the center of the road and the broken line is next to your lane, you may cross the lines to pass if there is no oncoming traffic. What should you do when an emergency vehicle is approaching while displaying flashing red or blue lights? A. See if you can reach your destination before the emergency vehicle catches up to you. B. Continue driving but try to stay out of its way. C. Pull over to the side of the road and come to a complete stop. D. Stop in the middle of an intersection. C. Pull over to the side of the road and come to a complete stop. You must yield the right-of-way to all emergency vehicles using a siren, air horn, and/or flashing red, blue, or white lights. Where possible, you must pull over to the right edge of the road. If you are in an intersection, drive through the intersection before you pull over. This sign means A. There is a detour ahead. B. You must stop for flaggers. C. The road ahead is closed to traffic. D. The highway ahead is undergoing maintenance. D. The highway ahead is undergoing maintenance. Construction and maintenance signs are orange-colored and are used to notify drivers of unusual or potentially dangerous conditions in or near work areas. This sign warns drivers that they are approaching a construction zone and that they should prepare to lower their speed and drive with extraordinary caution. Slower moving traffic on a multi-lane highway should A. Drive in the right lane. B. Drive in any lane. C. Drive in the left lane. D. Drive in the lane with the least amount of traffic. A. Drive in the right lane. If you are driving more slowly than surrounding traffic on a multi-lane road, use the right lane. The left-hand lane is intended for use by faster-moving traffic that is passing slower-moving traffic. Drivers who have consumed alcohol before getting behind the wheel A. Are always aware of the risks they are taking. B. Do not have sufficient control over their bodies and minds or the vehicles being driven. C. Are better drivers because they are more careful than sober drivers. D. Have quicker reaction times. B. Do not have sufficient control over their bodies and minds or the vehicles being driven. Alcohol is a depressant that negatively affects judgment, vision, concentration, understanding of reality, and reaction time. It is never safe to consume alcohol in any amount before getting behind the wheel of a car. The school zone speed limit is A. 10 miles per hour. B. 25 miles per hour. C. 20 miles per hour. D. 35 miles per hour. C. 20 miles per hour. The speed limit for school zones in Alaska is 20 miles per hour. Always drive with caution where children are present. Statistics show that alcohol is A. Involved in almost half of all traffic crashes that result in death. B. Rarely involved in any traffic crashes. C. The cause of all traffic crashes. D. Involved only in traffic crashes that do not result in death. A. Involved in almost half of all traffic crashes that result in death. Alcohol consumption is a significant factor in fatal motor vehicle crashes. In Alaska, almost 45% of all traffic deaths each year involve alcohol. To keep your vehicle from being struck from behind? A. Drive a little faster than surrounding traffic to widen the gap between you and the vehicle behind you. B. Brake harder than usual. C. Keep pace with surrounding traffic. D. Drive more slowly than surrounding traffic to maintain better control of your vehicle. C. Keep pace with surrounding traffic. It is a good idea to match the pace of surrounding traffic, within the legal speed limit. Driving with the flow of traffic keeps traffic moving and helps prevent rear-end collisions.